work unless they agree. My dear brothers, let's come together. Peace cannot reign unless there is love. Oh, my dear sisters, let us stand united. Hold hands together, help one another. United we stand, divided we all shall fall. United we stand, divided we all shall fall.
Laissez le monde s'unir et relever ensemble.
United we stand, divided we all shall fall.
Where's the better way? I want to get title.
United we stand, divided we all shall fall. United we stand, divided we all shall fall.
United we stand up, divided we fall. Unity is strength up. United we stand up. United we stand up, divided we fall. Unity is strength up.
I go to Bamenda. I'm not like other politicians who still sit in the comfort of their bedrooms and make speeches. I go to Bamenda. So when I'm told that Bamenda is fine, I want to ask my CPDM representative here. Is it the same Bamenda we are talking that spent Christmas and New Year indoors?
Today we have two topics.
Is it the same Bamenda? Things are normalizing. They spend Christmas and New Year indoors, locked up. Severe goes down. Is it the same Bamenda where the council of Bamenda 3 was burnt down? How many months ago?
Give some exposition.
Burnt down to ashes. Is it the same place? The councils are working well when a whole council is burnt down.
I
mean, we should speak the truth. The people are feeling the pinch.
Most of the time,
we want this thing to come to an end so that our people should stop suffering. So when you say those things that don't die with the reality on the ground, it's like somebody turning a knife inside another person's womb. So please tell the truth. I go down to Bamenda. Please let me tell you, you may not know,
the suspect.
I am very please, I like that you just said we should be civil, we should be gentlemen. When you were talking, nobody interrupted you. Why are you interrupting me? Don't interject or interrupt me. Allow me to talk.
Did to him,
I have been to Bamenda. I know what is happening inside Bamenda. My representative from Northwest has written to the governor severally. I'm talking, the governor is listening.
Speak on
we have written to him,
his jaws,
asking him to address things that are not going on well in the town. Yes, I will tell you that. We've given proposals for IDPs that are coming in, do like this.
He choose
for this, there are quarters in Bamenda that have not had light for 3 months. We have written to the governor asking him to get a new to redress that situation. The other area that don't have lights, they don't have water.
It was also
like he was talking about checkpoints. We have raised the issue of too many checkpoints.
The struggle,
you see, so for this thing to come to an end, it starts from us. Let us start by telling the government the truth about what is happening on the field. Because if you say you're a counselor, if you talk this type of language, then those who are in their own day, who want to rely on you as somebody on the ground, what will they take home as a message? They will say things are fine, but in actual fact,
Munzu has been saying that for many years, and we've heard him say a lot of things that
Mr. Shune, please, Mr. Shune, Mr. Shune, please, Mr. Shune, Mr. Shune, stop.
When they start talking, then they will start complaining. I cannot be talking about something that I substantiate them there, and you are telling me that I'm lying.
Okay, you substantiated that Bamenda is fine, yet they spend New Year and Christmas inside their houses
because of barbarism from Ambazonia who lock their own people.
Councils are doing fine, but
people that they pretend they want to save, they lock them in their homes on Christmas Day.
Can you finish my speech?
With
okay.
Mr. Leo, you see, if something has to be done, I was saying that we should start by telling the truth. We should not behave like my brother here or like the other.
Okay, Doctor, we got interrupted along the line, and I want to come back to this question once again. Given the vitriolic attacks, the accusation, but we are going to come there to see if you have some examples of accusation or lies peddled against you. Do you now consider the separatists, or as they call themselves now, Ambazonians, as your enemies, or a group of naive people fueled by disappointment and frustration?
No, I mean, certainly they are not my enemies. They are not even my opponents. I am a fundamental believer in the democratic principle that you have to give everybody their own space, the freedom of expression. But what is more, I'm also a great believer and practitioner in the principle of the force of argument as opposed to the argument of force, which, by the way, we adopted in the 90s as the motto of the SCNC, the force of argument, not the argument of force. So I respect their choices, I respect their positions, even when I don't agree with them, as I don't agree with them, but I defend their right to pursue their own track, as I said a while ago. And so I see them as exercising the freedom to choose the path along which they want to walk, and therefore I don't consider them as enemies. But and that is why none of them
who is abroad.
Yes, I
want to beg you that any day you are calling him up on board, don't call me. No, truly, I want to say it on air. Any day that you are inviting me, don't invite Padia Sanga. Don't, because otherwise you will not control me. No. Because if I hear that nonsense, that.
This is something I want to clarify here. Dr. Munzu made some statements here, okay? And the guy who is interviewing him, don't forget, is Eli Smith. Eli Smith is that guy who hails from who is a guy from Bunda, a Bamaleke guy, who grew up in Bamenda, but he has his own belief, okay? But he's calling us naive people filled with disappointment and frustration. That's how Ellie Smith is describing the Ambazonian people. But today, if you ask Ellie Smith where does he stand, Ellie Smith will change his tone. Munzu had been one of those architects of the force of argument and not the argument of force. That is a slogan that the NCNC had long ago. Okay? But at the end of the day, Munzu had to resign from the NCNC when Biya gave him a position. Okay? Biya gave Munzu a position and Munzu had to resign from the NCNC. Then he is still talking about the force of argument, right? But at the end of the, look how many AAC was held. 2 AACs. All Anglophone Conference. 1. All Anglophone Conference. 2. All Anglophone Conference. Then they had all these things. Then he was also part of the Grand National Dialogue. But ask Dr. Munzu today. The Grand National Dialogue that he was part of, that he attended, what did it achieve? And all the resolution that was taken there, what can he be proud to tell us today that it achieved? Okay, nothing. Okay, nothing, because today you see them running, trying to play the sponsor's pilot or the prodigal sons. Okay, this is the same people who were the real blackleg. Munzu said that we don't have what it takes to beat La Republique. But is it about that? We have a legal country, a legal history, a legal everything. We had a legal independence. Everything is legal in the international arena. And he, as a lawyer, can even understand that everything is won on the court of law. On the court of law, it's not by you saying something before you can say, "Oh, you won this person." Everything is always finalized. Okay, everything is settled. Every crisis, so to say, is settled on the court. So Munzu on argument about since the 1960s and the 1950s, Munzu will come and tell the same thing that he was saying, the force of argument. Ahidjo and Biya were dictators. Ahidjo ruled Cameroon for 22 years. Biya is ruling Cameroon now for 41 years. Then you say you still talking about the force of argument. Okay. Now the new generation has come. Biya realized that Biya thought he can take this generation for the old generation, because he did not know that the new generation is different. This generation is generation that know their rights. The past generation were using the force of argument. Oh, let's beg Biya for federation now. Let's go and beg Biya for federation. The NCNC, they were running all over the place, with going from meetings to meetings. But this generation took it differently. Biya thought that they can just wipe out the Ambazonian people from the face of the earth within 1, 2, 3 days. But the situation is different now. Okay, let me continue that so that you can listen to what Munzu is saying and his own argument, right? So that you can.
None of them, none would give you a single example of where I have said anything derogatory, where I have attacked any of them personally, and so on. I have tried to demonstrate with argument based on fact and law, as I did in Atlanta on the 21st or 22nd of July 2017, as I've done elsewhere, that the path on which they are taking us will not lead us to the victory which they are promising, for the reasons that I state. So it's an argument based on reason. It's not on insult. It's not on calumny. is not on throwing aspersions on people. I have never, I'm on record, if you like, go and search. You wouldn't find a single example where I, Simon Munzu, have said anything derogatory about any person, even one, in the separatist movement. And I only wish that they could act the same vis-a-vis the rest of us.
Good. You said you don't use aspersion, you don't use derogatory languages, no. But they use a lot against you.
Oh, yes, they do.
Do you have any kind of retentive memory?
Oh, yes, they do.
Have a litany of all the accusations and falsehood allegedly against you?
Yeah, I regret it. They use a lot of that against me, which is. But again, I say to myself, it's because they have no substantive argument to rebut my arguments. So when they fail to do that, they resort to personal attack and insult and so on. For example, I mean, their most favorite lie is that I owe my career in the United Nations to the Biya regime in Yaoundé.
And what do you say about that?
Nonsense, nonsense. I mean, because of my engagement in the Anglophone problem as co-convener of the AAC, as spokesperson of SCNC and all of that, I got to a point at the University of Yaoundé where I was teaching where I could no longer be under the authority of agents of the regime that was combating our aspiration for autonomy, for which I championed, and still be a civil servant under their supervision. And so I had a choice, either to remain in the Cameroonian civil service and shut my mouth, or to quit.
Munzu is lying.
And by the way, I was
vomited here today.
Munzu,
another day.
Munzu should be very clear.
You take me to the court.
Okay.
I mean, it's nonsense. So please, if we want this thing to finish, let us tell the truth.
Munzu
because
was
our
given
people
a
have
job
suffered
by
for
Biya
so long.
At the United
There are some
Nations.
people who tell the president that
Yes.
all is fine.
Munzu was given that job at the United Nations, and that is why Munzu had to quit the struggle. So Ambassador Fossong even made this assertion last time in one of his interviews, that Munzu that they trusted, he was a spokesperson of the NCNC. Munzu was a spokesperson of the NCNC, and they were going to the United Nations to put their matter in front. All of a sudden, Munzu changed, because Munzu was promised a job at the United Nations by the government of La Republic. So Munzu is one of those examples of some of our leaders today who have diverted from the struggle because of some kind of promises. But you have seen how frustrated Munzu is today. What has he gained after these years of go and spend in the United Nations? He's back in Yaoundé. He cannot even go to his village, Nguti, with no road. And they are the ones still talking about the one Cameroon thing, and he is the architect of that thing. And these are the people we are talking about. Okay. Then Munzu, on the other hand, Munzu come and say that, okay, listen, someone like Ellis Smith doesn't know how he's interviewing this person, but he claimed to be an Anglophone, whereas he is the real people that went right to Nigeria and full Nambere. General Nambere was full by Ellis Smith, with this other guy in Nigeria. This very Ellis Smith. We have sacrificed a lot. People like Ellis Smith don't even feel that. I don't know. He says he's an Anglophone, but I don't know where he's coming from. But what I know is that he's from I think Bunda or Chang. The fact that he's enjoying his relationship with La Republic, okay, and he forget to know that our people have been suffering for these past years. and he doesn't feel that remorse. It is very, very unbelievable that someone like Ellis Smith will be telling us that our struggle is naive. Okay, that's the only term he can use. Like the one in the Atangananji. Atangananji is saying that the Ambazonians are the Lucifer. I mean, sometimes when I look at these guys, they don't have soul. Okay, the manipulation that these guys have been trained, sometimes when you hear the name that they call their own people, is just so crazy. Okay, Munzu, Simon Munzu is a two-headed snake. He says something on this other side and go and say something on the other side. The real deception that Simon Munzu don't want you to know, okay, is that he had a UN job that was giving him, that's why he left the struggle. Okay, until today he's still even regretting, because the struggle, sometimes this people leave this thing, but they still have that mind to, you know. Okay, now let me read this what Munzu said. He said, like many Cameroonians, I woke up to the sad news of the passing away yesterday, 6th January, of the erudite Professor Joseph Owona. So this is his tribute to Professor Joseph Owona. Okay, may his soul rest in peace. Professor Owona was my colleague for several years at the Faculty of Law and Economics of the University of Yaoundé and political sparring partner, especially within the 11-member Constitution Drafting Technical Committee established at the November 1992 Tripartite Conference, on which he served as chair. Okay, I last saw or met him at the Major National Dialogue in 1999. Okay, remember, this is what I was talking about. He was part of that crap called Major National Dialogue. Okay, he continued. He said, there he received with much remorse my keynote speech, in which I emphatically stated that the Anglophone War would have been averted if my former comrade of the ruling party had heeded my warnings 30 years before against Anglophone marginalization, subjugation, and assimilation. He expressed his regret about this when he got up and embraced me as I was returning to my seat at the end of my speech and asked for a copy of the speech. He didn't look well even then, 4 years ago. Okay. Without going into details, it would be fair to say that in his public career, Owona had many opportunities to speak truth to power, and as an eminent and influential intellectual and politician to help steer Cameroon to safer shores, but choose the path of immediate gratification and the role of the Biya regime's apologist in chief. He was the high priest of the Esingang and stood in confrontation with the LACAM, two ethnocentric organizations headed by ethnocentric intellectuals. I'll keep him in my prayer. This is just, he is describing Joseph Owona as, you know, this is just something that, how can you the same thing he's describing Joseph Owona of late. That is his colleague, and they met at the Grand National Dialogue in 1999. What has come off of that Grand National Dialogue? Nothing. Nothing came out of that Grand National Dialogue. Then he is describing Joseph Owona as someone who has chosen the path of immediate gratification. Who first chose the path of immediate gratification, if not Munzu? Munzu abandoned the struggle. Munzu was the spokesperson of the NCNC. He abandoned the struggle. Ask him what happened that he abandoned the struggle. An activist remains an activist. You cannot stand an activist, then when they give you a United Nations job, you abandon the struggle. Okay, now you are there at the Yaoundé, no job, nothing, just trying to run your mouth so that they can give you another ministerial position. those are political beggars. We have royal beggars, political beggars, and parliamentarian beggars. We have those three types of beggars in Yaoundé there. They are begging for job. And he is describing Joseph Ouna as someone that has choose the path of immediate gratification and the role of Biya regime's apologist in chief. Who is Biya's apologist in chief if not Munzu now? Apologist in chief. It means that someone who is trying to be finding some remorse, but Munzu has not even started being apologist even, because he still believes that the Anglophone crisis, or the, as he call it, will not, like what he's saying, right? That will not hear any fruit because of whatever, that he's trying to demonstrate the argument based on fact and law, that the path will not lead us to victory. Munzu is a historian. Munzu is a law professor. Munzu can know better that why can't you instead advise that, okay, if La Republic know that they have a case, if someone has a case, why are you going on the path of military option? If you know that you have a case, why will you resort to military option? Right? That is the difference we are talking about. Okay? Now, Munzu, let me read this one. Okay, good. This one, he said, this is what Munzu is saying. He said, in 1956, on this day of 9 January, I embarked on the path of formal education at my village school at Nguti in the British Southern Cameroon. Today, I look back and wonder how that path led me from the backwaters of West Africa to St. John's College, Sase, Kasbambili, the Middle Temple, and the Inns of Court School of Law in London, and the Polytechnic of North London, and the University of London at King's College, and the University of Cambridge at Jesus College. God definitely has a plan for his children. Look, this trouble started because people like this would have been at the forefront of this struggle when the educational system has been tampered with. Look at Boya, University of Boya. Whether the minister of what, whether minister of that, like probably minister of transport, is trying to go and put the faculty of drivers. So University of Boya and University of Bamenda has become a faculty for drivers to go and learn driving. They are driving schools, but Ambazonians don't need driving school in the university, so they should come back and be driving Benzikin. Oh my God. Munzu, who went to the college of London, why can't he preach the model of these colleges? Because you can call all these colleges that you went to in Polytechnic of North London, University of London of King's College, the University of Cambridge of Jesus College. This is just BS if you cannot help your own people to establish this same system of education. His own village that he went to school, his own town, Guti, doesn't even have a road now like this. But these are the people who would have stood up. Our system of education is very, very rich. He studied in University of London, University of Cambridge, and all these universities. Why can't he put his voice so that the University of Boya, University of Bamenda should have the same standard? When you look at the list of universities in Africa, the best top universities in Africa, why one of the universities cannot even appear? Cameroon universities, even that in Ambazonia, the two universities in Ambazonia, cannot even appear in the list because the standard is not a par. It's not a par to the education standard. Even in Africa, we cannot even have one university in the first 50 universities. We cannot have one because people like this Munzu don't even see the need for the struggle of the people of Ambazonia. Okay, when we started this struggle in 2016, who started this struggle in 2016 were the teachers and lawyers. Munzu is a lawyer. he should be the one to stand up for his people. He should be the one to say, hey, this thing is not good. As a lawyer, as Munzu he is, instead of him propagating for justice, he's propagating for peace. But his people are still suffering. The system of education has not changed. They are still bringing in those French teachers. They are still bringing in the French lawyers. They are still using the French system to judge our people. How on earth Buea has a prison, Buea has courts, Buea has judicial system, Buea has lawyers? How on earth will you carry somebody from Buea and go to Yaoundé and judge them in Yaoundé when we have everything in Buea? How is that helping the people of Ambazonia? And how is that the best way to resolve a crisis when you know that our people need something better? When they judge somebody, they are carrying our people to instead to go and judge them in Yaoundé. Can Munzu tell us, if he as a lawyer, if you judge somebody common law system and the civil law system, how do you go and judge somebody in the civil law system when that person is from Bamenda and Buea, under the common law system, and you go and judge somebody in the language that he doesn't even understand? Then they don't even give you a translator. You are being judged and given life sentences just because you are an Ambazonian. Then this same Munzu, they have the guts to come and be teaching us about law. He said the law, whether the law state what. The failure of these people is what we are correcting today. They fail, hopefully. That is the only word you can say. They fail. They fail. Because if someone like Munzu, because of a United Nations job, can abandon his people, know that some people like these people are the people that will, okay, a recommendation letter that Biya gave so that he can have a job in United Nations, he abandoned his people. Let me leave him for that. Now let's talk about Senior Barrister Ashu. This guy, I love him for one thing. He always speaks truth to power. Okay, we understand the pressure most of them are facing back home there in Yaoundé and Douala and Ambazonia, but at least we need some iota of truth sometimes. We know the Yaoundé regime is watching at them. We understand all the pressure they have, right? But if you go on air, please try and speak some truth to power. Tell that regime of Biya that this military option is not the best. But when you spend time supporting the evil doing, the evil machination of this regime, then you are part of it. And when the time of cleansing will come, I always say this, I'm not a prophet, but I'm just saying, there will be a civil war in that country. And when that civil war will come, most of those people who are there running their mouth, they'll be rushing back to Ambazonia. They'll be rushing to Ambazonia. And don't forget, when La Republic had their war before, remember, back in the days of Makiza, they were rushing back to Ambazonia. That's why we have Bamlekes, all these guys today now in Ambazonia, because they were running from the time of Makiza, the UPC, and all those war that they had there before. So, even the Biafra is the same thing. During the Nigerian Biafra war, they were rushing back to Ambazonia. So Ambazonia has always been a welcoming land, but people like these guys will be the first people that will send out from the Munzus and all those guys who claim to be politically correct. Why they are killing their people, doing all sort of things to their people. Let's take a listen to Barrister Ashu. I like him because he's always objective, and that is very important when it comes to truth, speaking truth to power. Speaking truth to power, okay?
Dropping guns, but look at the number of people dropping guns. How many are the bush? Seems to be the solution. The major national dialogue is their rustic, and we should not expect anything from them. I don't think that even if we were to come up with another negotiator, the government will follow. You can listen to the rhetoric. What he's saying is almost what the head of state said. But now let's look at the content of what is being said. I go to Bamenda. I'm not like other politicians who still sit in the comfort of their bedrooms and make speeches. I go to Bamenda. So when I'm told that Bamenda is fine, I want to ask my CPDM representative here. Is it the same Bamenda we are talking that spent Christmas and New Year indoors? Is it the same Bamenda? Things are normalizing. They spend Christmas and New Year indoors, locked up in severe ghost town. Is it the same Bamenda where the council of Bamenda 3 was burned down? How many months ago? Burned down to ashes. Is it the same place? The councils are working well when a whole council is burned down. I mean, we should speak the truth. The people are feeling the pinch. We want this thing to come to an end so that our people should stop suffering. So when you say those things that don't die in reality on the ground, it's like some.
I think the barrister is saying something here, and when you listen to barrister is saying something here, and some of these CPDM people still believe in the thing of the Grand National Dialogue. What did the Grand National Dialogue, major national dialogue that the CPDM people arrange happen? Nothing. Okay. They promise to do so many things on paper, right? But nothing happened. La Public they are still using that manipulation, that corrupt system on our people. And some of these our own people, they call themselves Anglophones in Yaoundé. They still believe in this regime, that the regime can change at some point. This Grand National Dialogue failed. It failed hopefully. So anybody still mentioning it is just not being honest. What happened during the Grand National Dialogue? They promised a lot of things. They're going to open this, they're going to open that, they're going to open this. One of that project that they said they're going to open was that Limbe Deep Sea Port, right? Today, have you seen one construction going on there? After how many years? The Grand National Dialogue happened in 1919. This is 2024. Have you seen any construction going on there? 5 years after, nothing. Somebody still believe in all these CPDM people, and this guy, the CPDM guy who was in that panel, cannot even stand the Barrister Ashu was saying there, right? But this is what we are talking about, right? When you have a system that is corrupt and all those things, it is very difficult for them to, very difficult for them to come to terms. Barrister Ashu is telling them, on Christmas Day, Bamenda was shut down, Boya was shut down, Kumba was shut down for Christmas. And he's telling them, the people of Ambazonia want their freedom. They know what they want. That's why they are respecting Ghost Town. The people of Ambazonia are not respecting Ghost Town because they want to just sit at home. No, they want freedom. That's their own way of peaceful demonstration.
So please tell the truth. I go down to Bamenda. Please let me tell you. You may not know. I am very. Please, I like that. You just said we should be civil. We should be gentlemen. When you were talking, nobody interrupted you. Why are you interrupting me? Don't interject or interrupt me. Allow me talk. I have been to Bamenda. I know what is happening inside Bamenda. My representative from Northwest has written to the governor severally. I'm talking, the governor is listening. Yeah, we have written to him, asking him to address things that are not going on well in the town. Yes, I will tell you that. We've given proposals for IDPs that are coming in, do like this. For this, that there are quarters in Bamenda that have not had light for 3 months. We have written to the governor, asking him to get a NEO to redress that situation. The other areas that don't have lights, they don't have water. They are, like he was talking about checkpoints. We have raised the issue of too many checkpoints. You see, so for this thing to come to an end, it starts from
Okay. Yeah. So that was bad.
Let us start by telling the government the truth about what is happening on the field. Because if you say you're a councillor, if you talk this type of language, then those who are in their own day.
From his discussion, you can tell, right, that he is very, very honest. That he has been the one. He's been the one who has been going to Bamenda, right? That volume, I don't know. So he's just telling them that he knows a lot about Bamenda. He knows a lot about the Ambazonia crisis. He's not those guys who stay in Yaoundé and they can narrate stories. They will be narrating stories in areas where they have never been. Most of these guys in Yaoundé, they don't even know the road to their village. Like the fonts, I saw that font there in the font of Munzu, saying that is thing there. Some of them only Yaoundé there, they cannot go to their areas. They cannot even go to their villages. It is so sad, but that's the reality, right? That's the reality. The CPDM member cannot even stand. The thing that we understand, most of the CPDM elite are very comfortable with their jobs. They are very comfortable with their small earnings that they have there. So they don't care about the masses. They don't care about you. They don't care about you, the common man. Okay? They don't care how you feel. They don't care what how you do. They don't care. But if someone like Munzu is supporting, even federation is not accepted. This is, if you see Una, has never, look, Anglophone proposal for federal system rejected. This is the same Una that Munzu is even saying, look at what he said. This is 1992. So those people who are saying they are still talking, and Munzu is still talking about that, is thing of argument of argument of force, or force of argument, and argument of force. Those things don't work today. The BI regime is not a kind of regime that you go and be saying that you are thing of the past. This is Ouna threatening Betty secession if Anglophone insists on federal. It means that they did not even want federal system. They did not even want it. They rejected it since back then. This same Ouna that Munzu is sending a message of condolence, may his soul rest in peace, and blah 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 and blah blah blah. These are the same people.
Jump the jump, sit the sit.
And
from all what we are seeing, these guys have full control of the grassroots. That is what we political parties are fighting. These guys. When I go down, look, we should speak the truth. I go down to the field.
I'm telling you, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Don't meet CPDM either in Bamenda, Boya, Kumba, or anywhere. I don't meet them. You wait for election day to come out with your tactics. You see, we go down to the field and face the people in all the adversity. So you should give us some credit. You see, we go down there and see what is happening. We try to give the people some hope and some alternative way to come out of this crisis. Now, all of us are sons and daughters of Southern Cameroons. Some of us have decided to pick up arms. Others have said, okay, like me, I have said that my own fight is the political one. I will not take up arms, my fight is the political one. Let me go ahead and convince the people that politically we can obtain a solution to our demise, which can come faster than the military crisis solution that you are opting for. So you should not tell the people that everything is fine. Well, we all know that it is not fine.
So we said everything is gradually coming to normal.
To the international community.
Why?
As to the international community, Mr. Leo,
There's bad air.
Mr. Leo, we have to face facts. There is this possibility of a referendum.
That is the argument of the CPDM people, right? That everything is coming to normal.
They started happening with it.
But
it really looks very likely because
we will see the crisis is now in its how many years? Today
you know him very well.
Today we have
in his New Year
how many years today?
He came out and said
this is 8 years. Then this same and this, you know, the people of Southern Cameroon have a just cause, right? We are not in a rush. The people of Ambazonia are not in a rush to justify anything. Okay, when you look at the La Republic government today, they are in a state of dilemma where they have to prepare to fight a war on two fronts. Their own civil war coming and the Ambazonia war coming, that is still there. So they have to resolve it faster. The mistake that they did was to run away from the two negotiation process, the one in Switzerland and the one in Canada. Had it been they were wise enough, they would have resolved this thing amicably. But people like this Uruna that has just passed away like this since 1992, these are the people that did not even want to hear about federation. Most of the NCNC people that were arrested back then were those propagating for a federal system. They were not even propagating for independence, but they were begging for federation. They were begging for federal system to return. The 1972 federations, they were begging for that system that was dissolved by Aijo to come back. But if things are getting back to normal, think of it. People are still dying, right? They still continue their Scotch egg policy. This is what happened in Manfi, right? This is what happened in Manfi. Okay? They said there is an audio in circulation where a French Cameroon military is confessing the colleague Janam shot down a pregnant woman in Okoyo Manfi at a checkpoint. This is what happened.
Sees
a pregnant woman was
organized
shot.
For his people to
A pregnant woman was shot. Why? The pregnant woman was shot because she was an Amazonian, period. And that is the diagram we are talking about, where you are being killed just for being an Amazonian. And these are the guys, these gendarmes and military. I told you that gendarme is a French force. Okay, in some countries like Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, they have sent away the French army because they are there just to make sure that they police the area, they militarize those countries, and they are milking the little resources from those countries. How many French companies do we have today in Ambazonia and Cameroon combined? Total, Bocom, all these companies, Bolloré, these are French companies that are there. But that is what they call French interests. Then the worst of all is when you are using somebody's currency, you cannot run away from that person's exploitation. So far as you are using that CFA franc, that you have to send 50% of your money to France to keep for you. Then you come now and say that you are in a country of what? La Republique is being tied down by that fact that they are part of this Francophonie system. And unfortunately, Ambazonia is now being fought by both La République and France, because France is the one supplying La République weapons. France is supplying La République weapons to win this war against Ambazonia. When we see our own people who are supposed to be on our side is on the enemy side, then I don't understand if they have conscience. I don't understand. What type of conscience do they have? Because when you look at what is going on today, you see our people dying, our people in refugee camps, our people in prison. What? I don't even hear these people talking about that. I don't hear them talking about that. And they want peace, but our people are still being killed every day. Our people are being killed every day. This is an Ambazonian journalist. Read, he says he's a CRTV journalist, right? Ask him. A CRTV journalist. He was locked up. We don't even know his whereabouts as we speak. This guy is called he's a popular CRTV journalist. Moki Edwin Kenzeka. He says he reportedly got abused by the police. The journalist, while in the hands of the security forces, was allegedly forced to express himself in French only, describing the journalist as an Ambazonian in the guise of a journalist. The Cameroon Association of English-speaking Journalists, Camasage, has in strong terms condemned the treatment of the journalist and have demanded an apology from the government. Moki is also a correspondent of the German international broadcaster DW and VOA. That is what this guy is going through just for being an Ambazonian. His crime is just for being an Ambazonian. Okay? And that is what we are talking about. That you are at risk at any time just for being an Ambazonian. Okay, before we finish the show, I want to read you 5 indisputable facts you should know. 5 facts you should know about the struggle. Okay, number 1 fact is that La République and Southern Cameroon were 2 separate countries that came together. That is fact. Tell anybody who don't know, who is asking, who is telling you about anything, tell them that you have 5 facts. Write them down. Number 1, La République and Southern Cameroon were 2 separate countries that came together. Okay. Fact number 2, La République got its independence on January 1st, 1960. Okay. The Southern Cameroon got its independence on October 1st, 1961. Fact number 4, the 1972 referendum was a fraud because they used the yes and we ballot papers, and La République citizens also voted instead of Southern Cameroonians only. Fact number 5, in 1984, in 1984, La République seceded from the Union, okay, and returned to its name at independence, La République du Cameroun. Hence, the Southern Cameroon respect their decision. So, those 5 facts, if anybody asks you, tell them that fact. Okay, don't forget. All right, please, if you are watching through YouTube, thank you for watching. If you are watching through Facebook, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like, the follow button, so that when I come on, you can see me coming up. Okay, thank you for watching, and let's stay in the struggle. Let's keep fighting for the people of Ambazonia. Thank you for watching.
Hallelujah.